What do you think is the most important question on an initial sales call? It depends on what industry you're in. It depends on what you're selling. But more important than the initial question is intent, which will lead you to the right question. So intent meaning like you go in there, whether you're going to their place of business or they're coming to you, is to simply be, what's the word I'm looking for? Just try to be curious about what it is that the problem they're trying to solve. You know, a lot of the time as a salesperson, sometimes you think too much about trying to make a sale so that you can eat. That's, I'm a salesperson, so as a salesperson, you eat what you get to eat what you kill, and if you don't kill anything, you're not going to eat. So that part of you, that ambitious part of you, the hungry part of you sort of have to suppress, and you need to not think about yourself, and you need to completely think about the other person, and you need to find out about who they are and what they want, and so the question I would ask, a good question I would ask is, again, it depends on how you're interacting. Like sometimes if it's a referral, it's easy. You can just say, how do you know so-and-so? Right? It's like, or I talked to Jane and she recommended me to you, and now we're sitting here and she told me that you're having back problems. Tell me about those. Right? So that's an example. So again, you want to tailor the question to be very specific to the person. You need to do really good research. I mean, that's the best initial sales question is not a general question. It's a very specific question, and it depends on what industry you're in, what you're selling. But simply by asking, just being curious. As far as a really good general question, I guess you can say, what are your goals with your business? What are some of the current problems and issues that you're already having? But sometimes those might be too quick maybe you would start with that, but the problem is when you're meeting someone for the first time, you're not going to get a good answer because they're still warming up to you. So really, I don't particularly like small talk. I think small talk is probably one of the best places to start. It's like, you maybe compliment them on their place of business or what they do, or maybe, you have to do research on what they do, and you have to know where they're coming from. Like I worked in gyms and I sold personal training. So, it would be different. Like I would talk to someone who just signed up for membership versus someone I got off the floor, right? Because someone who just signed up for a membership, they are essentially excited, right? They're excited about, because they just signed up, they're ready to go. Whereas someone who's been there a while is a different kind of conversation. Of course, I guess it always starts with like, what are your goals? It's really more about like, what have you done already? What goals have you accomplished? How do you feel about your progress now? And you just tell me about your business. Tell me about yourself. That's probably the best thing to do. That's probably the best question. I'm trying to like work here on the fly. Tell me about what it is that you love about your business. Tell me about what it is you like about your customer. Tell me about what you like about going to the gym. What's your favorite parts? Because you're trying to find out more about what they like, and then you can kind of tailor your approach based on the things that they like. Because a lot of times, sometimes when someone's trying to sell something, you might start talking about like, I remember I had this conversation with someone, and then he said to me like, and I was been doing a really good job in the work I was doing, and he said to me, we're going to really build a business, and we're going to make it so you don't ever have to worry about traffic or anything like that. And what he didn't realize was that I actually was interested in those things. It's a little vague, but I'm just saying like, it's not a really good idea to assume what other people are feeling. It's always best to just ask and be very inviting about it. Anyways, hope that helps.